This suit wasn't built to protect the person wearing it. It was built to protect the factory from the person wearing it. Inside that room, the air is 10,000 times cleaner than a surgical operating room. Because in there, a single particle smaller than 1,000th the width of a human hair can kill a chip worth $50,000. The problem is, the person wearing that suit is still shedding particles. 100,000 per minute, just sitting still. 1 million the moment they take a few steps. This is the story of a silicon disk. More than 500 steps, 3 months, in a place where the people who built it are classified as enemy number 1. This is a Class 1 cleanroom home to the machines that change the world. Each cubic meter of air must contain no more than 10 particles at 0.1 micrometers or larger. To understand what that means, outdoor city air holds more than 30 million of the same size per cubic meter. A surgical operating room, around 352,000. Class 1 is 10,000 times cleaner than where surgeons open your chest. To maintain that, the factory had to build a defense system against the very people who operate it. Anyone entering must pass through 2 sets of doors, an air shower blowing at over 20 meters per second for 30 seconds, a sticky mat, and a gowning process that takes 5 to 8 minutes. No makeup, no perfume, no ordinary paper sheds cellulose fibers, no phones, lithium batteries can outgas, no ballpoint pens, the ink contains volatile solvents. Every object you carry is a potential enemy. But the largest threat cannot be left at the door, because the largest threat is the person wearing the suit. Human skin sheds continuously. Every cell that falls is large enough to bury a 3 nanometer transistor 10,000 times over. Sitting still, your body releases around 100,000 particles per minute. Stand up and walk a few steps that surges to 1 million. Move with any exertion past 5 million. The bunny suit blocks roughly 99% of those particles. The remaining 1% is enough to lose the battle. This is a problem with no clean solution. Physics said, you cannot keep a room clean while humans are inside it. Humans answered with something else. They cycle the air 600 times an hour. Every second, fresh air flows through every position in the space. Every particle that falls gets pulled up to the ceiling, filtered through ULPA membranes that block 99.999% of the smallest particles, then pushed back down clean. A clean room is not a room, it's a river of air. Now the wafer has only just begun its journey. To turn a blank silicon disk into a chip, it must pass through more than 500 steps, 80 to 100 layers stacked on top of each other, each only a few atoms thick. Total time, 2 to 3 months. The clean room is not uniform. The EUV machine bay. Class 1, the cleanest. Mid-process lithography zones. Class 10, final testing areas. Class 100, the deeper into the process, the stricter the requirement. After the EUV machine prints patterns with 13.5 nanometer light, the wafer enters the loop. Lithography, etch, deposition, CMP, measurement, repeat, 80 times. Each cycle is 1 layer. Each layer is 1 more chance to lose. Lithography is the printing step. In the last episode, we watched the EUV machine fire 13.5 nanometer light through a mask, projecting a pattern onto the wafer. 1 pass, a matter of seconds, the pattern exposed into the photoresist coating on the disk. The allowed margin of error, under 1 nanometer, the width of 3 silicon atoms, side by side. Pattern printed. Now it must be carved. Plasma etch a stream of ionized gas charged with extreme energy fires down onto the wafer, eating away material with atomic precision wherever the pattern allows, like carving with an invisible scalpel. 1 mistake, and the entire wafer is lost. After the carving comes the building. Atomic layer deposition adds new material 1 atom at a time. 1 gas pulse cycle, 1 layer. Thousands of cycles, a layer just a few nanometers thick, painting in layers. 1 atom at a time. The new layer is deposited. It is not flat. CMP, chemical mechanical polish. The wafer is pressed against a rotating polishing pad saturated with a chemical slurry. Polished flat, down to the atomic level. Like sanding with sandpaper, if the grit were smaller than a bacterium. After every few steps, the wafer is scanned. A laser sweeps the surface, detecting any defect larger than a few tens of nanometers. A defect gets logged. If the same positions appear across multiple wafers, the system flags it. Process drift. The process is drifting. Stop. Fix. Restart. Lithography. Etch. Deposition. CMP. Measure. Repeat. One layer takes several hours. A modern H100 or M3 chip can require up to 100 layers stacked on top of each other. Each layer is another chance for process drift to accumulate. Each cycle, another chance for a particle to land exactly where it shouldn't. Every time a person walks past, 200,000 particles scatter into the air in a matter of seconds. 3 months, 500 steps. Thousands of times someone walked through. Millions of particles avoided. Now it's time for the factory to tell you whether you won against physics today. Wafer probe test. A needle thinner than a human hair descends onto each die on the wafer. In a few milliseconds, current flows through billions of transistors. Resistance measured, voltage measured, leakage current measured. Pass, pass. Fail. Each die takes a few seconds. A 300mm wafer can hold several hundred chips. After 20 to 30 minutes, the map is complete. Chip manufacturing is an expensive gamble. In the early phases of a new process, node 2 nanometer, 1.4 nanometer, the defect rate of chips that fail and get discarded can reach 30 to 50%. Only when the production line stabilizes, after thousands of wafers worth of learning, does the survival rate climb back to 80 to 90%, where the economics finally make sense. Every failed chip cannot be repaired, cannot be reused. A wafer, worth $20,000, its value concentrated in the dies that passed. The rest, lost to physics. This story does not happen in many places. Across the entire planet, only a handful of companies can run advanced node production at industrial scale. TSMC in Taiwan, Samsung in South Korea, Intel in the United States. The reason isn't that EUV machines are expensive, though they are. Not that ultra-pure silicon is hard to source, though it is. The reason is that cleanroom discipline and yield control cannot be purchased. This is decades of accumulated expertise, hundreds of thousands of failed attempts, millions of broken wafers studied and learned from. A new fab, even one equipped with EUV, takes years to reach stable yield. This is why a single H100 or Blackwell chip costs more than $30,000. Why every few months, the world's leading AI companies queue up to place orders. Why whichever nation controls this supply chain controls the future of AI. The war between humans and physics is fought in rooms that nobody ever sees. End of shift. The engineer removes the bunny suit. At the start of a shift, it looks like an astronaut suit entering unfamiliar territory. Now it looks different. Now it looks like the armor of a soldier ending an invisible war. They didn't go in to protect themselves. They went in to protect the smallest thing humanity has ever built from the largest threat humanity carries: themselves. Next, after the wafer escapes the cleanroom, it enters a different kind of battle: the glue war. How do you stack 12 chips on top of each other without drifting by even 1 micrometer? Beautiful as cinema, honest as documentation. That's Factory Story Lab. If there's a process you want us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the build.